Hi, everyone. Waves sometimes do weird things and they can cause big trouble. Today, I'll tell you a little about these problems and how we're trying to make them less bad. My name is Stuart Pearson, and I'm an almost doctor from a very cold place, working in a very low place. There are some small, beautiful pieces of land in the middle of the big water. These lands were built. Tiny animals turn into rock when they die. It takes a long time, but makes some very beautiful places. Now, even though these lands are very tiny, there's sometimes many people living on them. Although these small pieces of land might look perfect and calm most of the time, they're actually in trouble right now. Most of these lands are very low, and the people living there do not live on high ground. They live right next to the water. The world is getting hotter, so the big water is going up and up and up and up, and the little pieces of land could be completely under it by the time our kids get old. However, they're also in trouble right now. Waves can hit these places and make them go underwater too, even just for a short while. These waves can hurt people. If the bad water goes into the ground, people can't drink the drinking water anymore, and the green things they eat could die. Because of this, some tiny lands could be not livable in just tens of years. Now, these waves are very strong and can carry very large rocks like this one, as if they were made of paper. If your house is in the way, it might break or fall down. These waves will eat you for breakfast. They look like waves that happen when the world shakes. But that's not what happens here. Waves made by the wind on the big blue wet thing change when they get closer to land, getting higher, breaking, and getting longer. They sometimes also do weird things like this. When they reach the land, they can run up and cover everything with water. All of these changes and weirdness make it very hard to guess what they'll do. It's even harder to guess what the waves will do because every small piece of land like this is different. And there are so many of them all around the world. Look at them all. As part of our plan to keep everyone safe, we showed a computer hundreds of pretend waves so that it could learn how they look when they hit different sorts of rocks and lands. We used all those made-up waves to teach the computer. First, we check how big are the waves on the big water, and how wide is this bit? Then, how big are the waves when they reach the land? From that, we can see if water will cover the land. The computer can then guess what real waves would do if they hit real rocks and land, as long as they look like the pretend rocks and land it had seen before with the pretend waves. We can then do this for lots of different places. Wave numbers for each little piece of land in the big water go into the computer. The computer then makes its best guess about whether or not the waves will cover the little pieces of land in water and hurt people. If we can do this fast, before the big waves get there, we can tell people to get out of the way so that they are ready, do not get hurt. So, just to put it all together, if we know more about the weird things that these waves do when they reach the small pieces of land, we can make better guesses about whether or not they will hurt people in their houses. With good guesses, we can tell people to get out of the way and stay safe. Most important of all is to stop putting bad stuff in the air and making the world hotter. This is probably the best thing that we can do for the people living on the tiny pieces of land, and pretty much everyone else too. If you think this is cool, you can read more about this stuff in bigger words here. Thanks for listening.